Hello, footy friends. This is Cindy from AFL from LA, and I'm here this week with Andrew from Ankle Sore, and we're here to talk about the round 10 tips. So let's get to it. And by the way, I think there's going to be a huge upset this week.
Oh, I can't wait for
Andrew,
that. Yes, Cindy. How are you?
welcome.
Thank you. No, thanks for having me.
Well, I always love hanging out with you.
I
So
was going to say it's always fun doing,
always fun, my Melbourne
always fun,
friend. I try not to hold that against you.
but you
So
do.
just kidding, people. Relax. I love Melbourne. I love your coffee. It's all good. So, okay, let's get right to it. We got first game up, Gold Coast versus Geelong. We've got 10th against number 2. What are your thoughts about this game?
It's going to be a terrible game to watch.
Terrible game. Well, I understand they're playing in Darwin.
You understand correctly.
I understand. And that is concerning because
Humidity,
weather.
slippery ball, ugly game of football.
Ugly game of football.
Well done, AFL.
What's wrong with Darwin? Isn't it good for the people to get to see a game?
It is. Pre-season game would be good, not for 4 points. It's disgusting.
I see.
But anyway.
I got it. Okay,
Bit
so
controversial.
listen. Suns whipped North Melbourne's asses last week, right? The Cats, they've lost 2 in a row. They've got a couple big outs, right? I think Cameron's out. Who else is out? Someone else is
Maybe
out.
Hawkins, maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Maybe.
So the Cats, I understand, have actually never played in Darwin either, but the Suns, I think, play there, right? Don't they play there regularly?
Yeah. They what usually happens with the Suns, I remember last year they played 2 games in a row there, so they stay up for the week,
Oh,
get acclimatized, even though they're from Gold Coast, which is pretty hot and
right.
slippery over there too. But
Yeah.
they get used to it. But
So I think they've won 5 in a row there. Does that sound right to you?
about that, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah,
Okay, so all right. So who loses and why?
Gold Coast because they're no good, and unless they play finals, I'm not taking them seriously. Simple as that.
So despite
There, I
the
said it.
fact, despite the fact Geelong has these 2 big outs, I mean those are big
I don't
outs,
care.
right? You're
don't
still
care.
tipping Geelong.
I'm tipping Gold Coast to lose. So yes, Geelong will win.
All right. Well, I think you're going to be disappointed. I think it's going to be Gold Coast.
I'll be very disappointed if that happens.
I think Geelong are going to lose.
Okay.
All right. Moving right along. Sydney versus Carlton. We've got team in the number 1 spot and the team on the 7th on the ladder right now. Okay. It's Friday night at the SCG. Your initial thoughts?
You know this is personal, right?
Why?
Because it's my team. That's
Your
why.
team. That's right. You're a Blues man.
There you go. So
Okay.
my thoughts.
Yes.
I think Sydney lose.
You're jumping way ahead.
Being honest, I've got nothing to say
Okay,
about
but
this game.
listen,
Because
you
it's
have
going
no
to be.
Chera. You have no Cottrell. You have no
Yeah.
Sod. Okay.
Yep.
Pitanet. Am I saying his name right? Yeah.
Pathetic net. Yep. Close. You're close.
Zach Williams. Okay. With those 2 guys, the last 2 need to have a fitness test. Okay. But those are those are 3 big outs for you guys.
Test. No, they need to have more than the fitness test. Those 2. Trust
Okay,
me.
but you don't know if those 2, so you could have potentially those 5 out. I mean, Cottrell's been like doing some amazing things for your team, right?
Yeah, he's been great.
Okay.
He's been great.
The Swans demolished Frio last week, and yes, granted, the Frio were having, it was a sad day for Western Australia, and it was not a great game. But I mean, seriously, you're 100%.
I'm not 100, but
Yeah.
I'm 80.
80%. So
Yep.
my question to you, once again,
Yes.
I want to know who loses and why. And it sounds like you're saying the Swans lose.
Sydney Swans lose because Charlie Curnow will have a night out because it's at night for the first time this year. He needs to. He needs to.
For the first time. Those are key words right there.
Well, I'm being honest.
I mean, I hate to disagree with you, but I think it's going to be Carlton that loses this week.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
great. We'll see.
All right. Moving on. All right. Collingwood versus Adelaide. Now this is getting interesting, right? We got Collingwood is now in the 8th spot. We've got the Crows are now in 12th. Okay. Saturday at the MCG, we got no Howe, no Elliott, no Myercheck, no McCreary for the Pies, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've got no Josh Worrell for the Crows.
That's okay.
Okay. I mean, Collingwood unfortunately beat my baby Eagles this week, right? But so what happens? Who loses and why?
Collingwood lose because Adelaide's playing really well. Really well.
That's some
It
big,
is.
those are
It
big
is.
calls there. At the MCG, you think that's going to happen?
Absolutely. It's going to actually, I'm looking forward to Isaac Rankin at one end and Bobby Hill on the other end. It's going to be awesome to watch. So
Bobby.
I just don't think Collingwood have got the scoring power.
No?
No.
I don't know. I kind of feel like they're on a roll. I feel
So
like they're on a roll. I feel like they're building. Their momentum has been, steadily, they've been getting better, and they kind of finally decided they wanted to win again.
Oh, you're 100% right, but a few of those outs, don't like it.
All right, so you're saying that it's going to be a Collingwood loss.
I am.
All right. Well, me and you so far, we are in complete opposite ends of this footy thing. Yeah. I say Adelaide loses.
Of course,
you're going against me every time. It's too hard to beat them at the G. It's too hard. Yeah.
All right. One of us after this is going to look like a genius, so I don't know. Because we're so opposite. It's going to be cool.
Maybe they'll all be draws and we'll look like complete idiots. I don't know. Maybe, right?
That would be interesting. So are you taking this personally, wearing black and white? Is that why you're choosing Adelaide to lose?
Well, depending on who's watching
yes or no?
this.
No, it's yes or no.
I could be a Collingwood supporter today, or I could be a Port supporter, right? Maybe.
Porter Teal.
Teal, I know. All
Does
right.
that color exist in America?
It has nothing to do with my team choices. Trust me.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay.
All right. So on to this is going to be an amazing game, I think, because there's a lot of between these two teams. We got GWS versus Western Bulldogs. We've got GWS sitting at 5th on the ladder, and the Bulldogs are at 11th. It's a Saturday night twilight game at Giant Stadium. I believe this is so hard for me to believe, but this is the first game that the Giants will be playing in their own stadium since round 1. My apologies.
Yeah, they played round 1. Jeez, that's incredible, isn't it?
That's a long...
It's hard to believe.
Yeah. How does that work out?
Well, they play a couple of games in Canberra, which is their home game technically, but so, I don't know.
Yeah, but Canberra, I mean, is a hard place to play too. You're like making fun of Darwin. I think Canberra's not that great of a place for people either.
I'd rather be playing in Canberra, but anyway.
So look, Giants have not been themselves lately, right? They were not great against Essendon. I'm sure you probably like that.
No, not really.
Ankle sore, right? Isn't that an Essendon namesake, right?
Bomber Thompson. Yeah, we named after Bomber Thompson, the Yarden great, but anyway.
Yeah, so these teams hate each other. I think this is actually one of the bigger rivalries, For
GWS it is, yeah. They played in the preliminary final 2016, which ultimately led to the Bulldogs winning the premiership.
Oh, that's right. I remember. Okay.
Yeah, so it's stemmed from that.
So look, the Giants have, I don't know if you heard the latest, the Giants have a couple big outs. They have Ash is out and Josh Kelly is going to be out. Yep. I think they're going to be out for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, calf issue, I believe. It's it's going to be interesting. I think.
Who loses and why?
This is a tough one. It's a tough one now knowing the outs. You know what?
Yeah.
Because I know what you're going to choose. GWS lose. Yeah. They're not going well enough. They're going West Toby. What?
Baby. So I have this theory. All right, people. Okay. The babies mess them up. Okay. Like Tommy Barras, like when he had his first baby, I noticed it. Like he's amazing. And he couldn't stop a ball. Like he just was like useless in the, sorry, Tom, I won't say that. He was struggling in the back.
That's a better word.
He was struggling. Now the baby's a little bit older. He's having a great season. Okay. I think first time father, it's a theory,
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been
Yeah.
paying that close attention to this particular issue in a while.
Look, you could be right.
Yeah.
You could be right because it's hard to play football wheeling a pram on the ground. So, yeah, you're right.
Changing nappies,
Yeah, that'd
all
be
kinds
tough.
of stuff.
So, all right,
But
I
I
get it,
don't
Toby.
think, but here's the thing. I don't think he can continue to play this poorly. I don't think it's in him to continue to play this poorly, right? So
I think
who loses and why? What are we saying here?
I think GWS lose.
So look, it's the Bulldogs. They're going down. They are going down.
Of course
I
they are.
still have my belief in GWS.
Mm.
I still think they're the best team in the comp. Ooh. All
Pardon?
the Sydney fans are not going to appreciate that.
That's big.
But yeah, I think it's all them this week. I don't think they're going to let another week go by. So Bulldogs, puppies, you're going down.
Okay.
Next. All right. Let's see here. Oh, here's one. Essendon versus North Melbourne. So we have Essendon, who is now third. Is that factual? They're third on the ladder. Jeez,
Very
what has
factual.
happened?
Yep.
Against the 18th. Yeah, the 36th team in the comp day. It's at Marvel. I mean, are North the worst team in the history of
Very
Vito.
close. Very close. I remember in the 80s, growing up in the 80s, St Kilda were really bad. They'd water the ground and it'd be muddy before the game so they wouldn't lose by so much. So it's touch and go with North and St Kilda as the worst teams ever.
Okay. But now North is I mean, Essendon has been kind of on fire.
They're playing really well, aren't they?
You know, what are we thinking? I mean, who loses and why? Just for
Really?
fun.
Really? You're going to ask me that?
Yeah, we can just.
How about we take the time to plug our live stream on Sunday?
Yes,
Because we're
go
doing
ahead.
a live stream of this game.
Yeah,
Whew.
if you
gonna
want to
be fun.
hear them complain about North Melbourne,
Yeah, watch because
them.
there'll be a lot of complaining. Trust me.
I guarantee you will laugh. Vito is
cry.
going to have a few choice words to say. You should
Oh.
totally check them out at Ankles. So
Oh.
how do we watch the live stream? Is it on
It'll
Instagram?
be on YouTube. We'll be live stream on YouTube. Yeah, at 1 p.m. Melbourne time.
Perfect. And lucky for me, it will actually be a time I will be awake and I will be definitely joining in on this live
Oh
stream.
no, it starts at 4. Sorry, there's a time change.
Okay, so
I can imagine your banter. My God.
The first time you and I are in agreement about something.
Oh.
North Melbourne are going to lose.
I believe.
Very, very, it's a brave prediction for both of us.
It
Okay,
is.
so Port Adelaide versus Hawthorn now, 6th and 15. The Sunday afternoon, it's at the Adelaide Oval. Okay. Port had a big win against Geelong in Geelong.
Yep. Great win.
The Hawks had a pretty good win against the Saints. What are we thinking here? Rosie's still out?
Mm.
What are your thoughts on this matchup?
The Hawks lose this. The Port last week helped.
Yeah.
It just gave them, even though the Hawks are going well, I don't mind Hawthorn. I think,
The Hawks have definitely been competitive. I mean, they actually
absolutely. I was
they
actually
played
just going to
last
say,
week like they were. So last season, like they had all these like great kind of moments, and I felt like last week's game was reminded me of like how good they could play last year.
yeah, and that's what I think. Even this game, I think Port's going to have their work cut out. Even though I think, Hawthorn just, but Port's going to have their work cut out.
Yeah.
But Hawthorn ultimately lose.
Okay, so you're thinking Hawthorn loses, and here's a fun one for you. You want to tell me by how much? What do you think? What are you tipping for the score?
37 points they lose by.
37 points, really? Wow. I
Yep.
mean, I don't know. I want those little baby Hawks to have a chance. So I think, I still think they're going to lose, but not by that much. I think it'll be a little bit of slimmer margin, personally.
Well, that'd be good to watch if that's the case.
Yeah, it would be exciting. Because, the midfield matchup should be pretty good, don't you think?
Great matchup. It probably helps Hawthorn because Rosie's out.
Yeah.
Probably gives them the advantage slightly, but
Yeah.
I still think Port, everywhere else, is a little bit more advanced than Hawthorn at the moment.
Probably true. Probably Cherry. All right, so we're agreeing on two things now. I can't even believe it.
Wow.
All right, so we have St. Kilda versus Fremantle versus Ninth. It's Saturday night at Marvel. They love giving St. Kilda the prime time spots. Okay. As we just discussed, the Saints were a little mundane against the Hawks, right? Sean Darcy's out, and here's something I'd like to hear your thoughts on. So apparently Fremantle want to have this like dual, double ruck thing, but when Sean's out, they don't have another one. What's that about, right?
So the quicker they get rid of Sean Darcy, the better off they'll be, because Luke Jackson's a superstar.
Yeah. Oh, so you're not into Sean Darcy?
Not now that Luke Jackson's there. I feel like he's holding them back. They play better with one ruckman.
So what team would take Sean Darcy?
North Melbourne. Richmond.
What about who? Cherry? Sorry. Who's Cherry? Oh.
Tristan Cherry.
Sorry. But yeah, North Melbourne have an excellent ruckman right now. So why would they take Sean Darcy when they have that guy? Like, that guy is one person they have going for him. Cherry, I think his name is.
That's right. Sean Darcy's more excellent.
Than
Tristan Cherry.
All right. Very good. Listen, so on this one, who loses and why?
St Kilda lose because they lack the ability to score. They lack the want to score. They don't want to score. Even though Fremantle's also don't want to score, but not as much as St Kilda. Yeah, it's a Ross Lyon trait.
Yeah, Freo was surprising. Like last week, obviously wasn't a great game for them, but I think the week before they scored over 100 points.
Yeah, for the first time of the year, I think. Yeah.
So they can score when they want to.
When they want to.
Yeah. So here's like a question: if you think like this is just going off topic just for a moment, but if St. Kilda suddenly had a different coach, do you think like these players would be like, "Hallelujah! Like we can now." Like, do you think they're like dying to score?
They're shackled. They're shackled. Yeah. They're so held back. Like, I'll use this analogy, right?
Yeah.
So when you're drafted, and this is with any sport, you get drafted because you have talent and ability, and you've got an ability to play the sport, right?
Yeah.
So when they get to St. Kilda, that's thrown out the window. It's one way.
Right.
It's the coach's way. And he's been like this for 20 years, so nothing's changed.
Yeah.
He's just set in his ways, and it doesn't work in modern football, So
here's another question for you, is because I read a lot of comments online, and it seems like the general consensus is that, like these ultra defensive games is not the same game of footy, but sometimes it's actually quite exciting for these close games. But you long for the old fashioned games of like lots of goals, right? I mean, that's what you'd like to see.
I'd prefer that, but I agree with you. Low scoring game can still be a good game.
Yeah.
If they're trying to score, it's just you've got two defenses winning. But when teams have no intention of scoring, which is what St Kilda and Freo do, I despise it. I hate it. Yeah, you've got to kick 100 points to win a premiership these days.
Okay.
That's the formula. And I'll just leave you with this.
Yes.
Mateus Philippou, who's not actually in the team at the moment for St Kilda, his manager messaged David King on X and said he was a better player before Ross Lyon got there.
Ooh. That's
interesting.
That's scandalous.
It is. So there's your answer to, do you think the players, yes. So
let me ask you this question then. So Freo, let's say Freo continues to win playing their particular brand of football. Are you basically saying they cannot win a grand final?
No.
Okay.
Zero chance.
You heard it here, people.
Yep.
All right. So Brisbane versus Richmond.
Exactly. You summed it up with not even a word.
It's at the GABA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So listen, should the AFL fixture be more fluid? Like, should they be able to, based on how the season is going, switch the games when you're watching them? Like, it's prime time, right?
Agree. Yep.
So you
dizzy
agree
nodding so much. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane.
They should do 4-week blocks. 4-week blocks. They should see what, because you said something earlier with the Essendon game. You said, I can't believe they're third, right?
Yeah.
4 weeks ago, they were 11th. So things can change quickly, right? So
yeah,
let's It's 2024. We should have the ability to move things, and we did it in COVID. When it's funny
Yeah.
when you're pushed, you find a way. When you're sitting in your big chair doing nothing, you just let it go.
Right.
Anyway,
When should they be played?
Tuesday night at 3 p.m. so no one can watch them.
God, so the big question: who loses and why?
What game are we at?
Exactly.
I've lost my train of thought because it's a hopeless game.
Brisbane
Richmond
versus
lose.
Richmond. Who cares,
Richmond lose.
right? Who cares?
They're just too undermanned. I feel sorry for Richmond. I like the way they try and play, but they just can't. They just can't. So Richmond lose.
So Richmond lose. Okay, I think that's probably true. But I mean, do you think Brisbane has a chance at all to make it into the finals?
They have a chance of making it into the finals, but I don't think they'll do any damage. I think their run's over. I think they've just been up for too long.
Yep. All right. So I believe we're down to our last game.
What might that be?
The mighty West Coast Eagles.
Once
and
mighty.
the Melbourne Demons. We got the 4th team. It's the 16th team that was once the 14th team. I just want to remind everybody that a couple weeks ago they were the 14th team.
Weeks ago.
It's a twilight game at Optus, so it's played in Perth.
Oh yeah.
The Eagles had a little spanking from Collingwood, and we've had some very good players out. We lost Yo, we lost Waterman, McGovern maybe out. I don't know. He's a test. Melbourne. They fought hard, but they lost to your boys, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, who loses and why?
I don't want to disappoint you, but come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Come on, Coast are losing this one.
Really? You think? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sticking my neck out, Cindy. I don't know.
I think
I'm torn on this one.
It's a little fun fact, a little story for you.
Go on. Story time
the
with
first
Cindy.
game I ever watched was a Demons game, and I used to cheer for them. I don't know if you've heard this story. And the first game I ever watched in Australia, but not live, not at a game, was the Demons, the Eagles.
Oh.
And I was, for fun, cheering for the Demons. Because I learned how to say Canadies. It was very unpopular with my friends in Australia. So anyway, I would tend to agree that I think the Eagles, if we don't get back Waterman, I don't think we're gonna have Yo. I don't know if we're gonna have the Gov. I haven't seen. I was so excited that Liam Ryan came back, but he hasn't been able to, he's rusty. He hasn't been able to turn it on yet,
He looks like, and not that we know because they don't publish the weights, but it looks like he's put on a bit of weight, Like maybe he's just struggling to, I don't know. He's not jumping.
He can get a little belly pooch once in a while,
Yeah,
he's
just not his energetic self,
Yeah, I mean, he had a couple moments in last week's game where he was actually like the flying Ryan, but he just couldn't, he's usually magical and he just couldn't make anything happen, right?
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I'm sorry, my little baby Eagles. I think you guys are not going to have a great week, but I love you anyway, and I'm still going to cheer for you. So there you have it. That's our tips.
I just want to leave you with this, Cindy.
Tell me.
It's a terrible week for football this week.
Is it?
There's some shocking games. Last week was great. All the final eight played each other.
It was actually. Yeah,
it was good. But this week, oh my God, there's some bad games.
Yeah. So are you gonna actually watch all the games, or are you gonna?
I'm gonna watch all bar one. Have a guess which one I'm not gonna watch.
You're not gonna watch my Eagles?
No, I'm gonna watch that one.
You're gonna watch that one. Well, I know you're watching North Melbourne, Essendon,
got
right?
No choice. We've strapped ourselves in for that one.
Okay, so it's Brisbane, Richmond. You're sitting that one out.
I'm watching that one too.
Gold Coast. Is it Gold Coast Geelong? No, you'll watch that.
I'm watching that because it's the only game.
You're not going to watch Sydney Carlton.
Yeah, I'm tossing up between that and another game. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay, what's the score? What are you predicting the score for Sydney Carlton?
Sydney Carlton?
Yeah. Tight.
I need Vito here to say 15-9, whatever it is.
Oh, he's so good with his numbers, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 15-9-99 Carlton, 14-7, whatever that is.
14-7, 14 points, goals, 91. Okay.
There you go.
So you think it's going to be an 8-point game?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm not gonna even give
What's
you a
new
number.
with Carlton? Every game's a
Yeah.
close game. So
Are you still feeling confident they're heading to the finals? Top
No.
4?
no, not anymore.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Andy from Ankle Sore, for
You're
hanging
welcome.
out with me and talking about our tips for this week's round. And I can't wait to see how we did.
I can't wait to see either.
All right. We'll talk soon. Bye.
See ya.